Hello and welcome to the 27th video lecture of Quantitative Techniques, model number 2, semester 3. In today's video lecture, we are going to start with some simple problems on probability. So, before going into some simple problems on probability, let us see some basic concepts what are there. Now, what is this which is there on the screen? Yes, it is a coin. Now, some basic things you should know because problems are based on coins, dice and playing cards. So as you all know that a coin has two faces. One, this one is the tails and this one is the heads. Okay, it has two this faces. One face is known as the tail and one face is known as the heads. Now uh, when you toss a coin once, what is the result of that experiment? Suppose if the experiment is tossing of a coin, what is the result or outcome of the experiment? It is either a tail or it is a head, one of these two. Is there any other possible outcome of this experiment? No, it is not possible. So that is the concept behind some of the problems. Let us move ahead and see. This was an easier one. The next one. Okay, what is this? As the name I have written there, it is a dice. A dice has how many faces? It has six faces or six sides. Now these sides which are there on the dice, now remember one thing, if you're talking about one singular thing, then it is a dice, singular. Whereas when two things are there, that is two dice, you don't say it as two dice or two dices, you say two die or a pair of a die is thrown once. Okay, one more thing, one concept. A coin is always tossed. So coin is tossed, you do not throw a coin, you toss a coin. Similarly, when it comes to dice, the dice is rolled. Rolled. The dice is rolled. The roll, and if there are more than one dice, then it is known as a die. Sorry. Here it is. Okay. A pair of a die. Okay. So die has six faces. These are the six faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. Okay. When you roll a die, or when you roll a dice, in fact, what are the possible outcomes? It is, the possible outcomes are, it can be this 1, 2, 3, okay, sorry, 3, 4, 5 or 6. Is there any other possibility of any other outcome? No, there is no other possibility of any other outcome. So your sample space is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Just like when you tossed a coin once, your sample space was either a head or a tail, so you had only two things in the sample space. Here you have six things in the sample space, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this is the concept of dice. Let's move further towards the next thing, that is playing cards. A set of playing cards, you might have played cards. Okay, now in this set of playing cards there are a lot of concepts which you should understand. First of all, this set of playing cards is known as a deck. Now total how many cards are there? Totally we have 52 cards. Okay, you have 52 cards. Now once you have this 52 cards, the next thing what we have to see is how many black colored cards are there. Clearly in this pic you can see there we have 26 black colored cards. The first two rows are black colored. whereas 26 red colored cards we have. Fine. Now the next thing is about what do we call this. I hope this is visible for you. This, in our terminology, what we used, or at least what I used to say, is silver. Now what is this known as in English? Clover. It is a clover. Hmm. What is this known as? We used to call it as spit. Spit. Now this is known as, in English it is known as a spade. Spade. Fine. Let's clear this. Now what is this, the third one? This is a heart. It's very easy, badam we used to call it. Easy to understand. And what is this? We used to call it chaukat. Now this is known as a diamond in English. Diamond. I'm writing with my right thumb with all my other fingers engaged in holding the mobile, so my handwriting is not that good here, so kindly bear with this. Fine. So these are the four things. Now this again, here these cards are known as a car. Okay, that is ace. Fine. Now when it comes to face cards, there's something known as face cards. So we have all these cards are known as face cards. All these jack. Now okay, this is Gulam, or the prince, or we call it as jack. Okay, this is a jack. Now this is a queen. Fine. And this is the Badshah, that is the king. Okay, ace. This is the ace, king, queen, and what do we have? That is a jack. Okay. Now when it comes to face cards, how many faces can you see in now there are four sets we have seen before that. There are four sets. Each set has 13 cards, so 13 multiplied by 4 is equals to 52. That is how you have 52 cards. You should not count jokers or any other additional cards. Only these are the set of playing cards. So the total number of playing cards are 52. 13 in each set. 13 multiplied by 4 equal to 52. Now when it comes to face cards, as I've said, okay, sorry. When it comes to face cards, okay, these are the face cards where you can find face of human figures. Okay, how many face cards you have then? You have 3 3 3 3, that is 12. 3 into 4 equal to 12. 3 cards in each set. Total number of sets are 4, so 3 into 4 is 12 cards. Okay, total 4 jacks, 4 queens, 4 kings, 4 aces, so and so on. Okay, so this is the concept of playing cards, because your playing cards are problems are based upon this. You should know this basics. So now let us start with some numerical problem. Okay, now please note down this formula before we go to the next problems. There are certain formulas which you should know. Now probability of A, first one, this problem, this formula. This is read as probability of A is equals to n of A divided by n of S. N of A, what is n of A? Number of possible outcomes of event A, okay, divided by n of S, number of items in the sample space. So probability of A is equal to number of items in set A, that is number of outcomes of event A possible, divided by total number of outcomes, that is total number of possible outcomes, that is n of S. It is also equal to the number of items in the sample space. The second formula that is there is of addition theorem. One 5-mark question can be expected from addition theorem. Addition theorem is written as probability of A or B. Remember this, whenever addition is there, you always have the word or. Whenever or this comes, this means it is plus. Whenever and comes, it means it is and, means multiplication, or means addition. So this is all. So probability of A or B, event A happening or event B happening, is equal to probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. How this formula has to be used, we'll see when solving the problems. And if you want to extend this, then we have probability of A or B or C, that is probability of event A happening or event B happening or event C happening, is equal to probability of A plus probability of B plus probability of C minus probability of A intersection B minus probability of B intersection C minus probability of A intersection C plus probability of A intersection B intersection C. How this is to be used and how this comes, we'll see in the later part. Also note down this third formula, that is probability of A dash, that is complement of A. A dash is complement of A. It is also sometimes written as A bar. One of these two it is used, either it is shown as A dash or A bar. So A dash is equals to 1 minus probability of A, that is probability of an event not happening, event A not happening. Probability of an event A not happening is represented as P of A dash. It is equal to 1 minus probability of event A happening, that is probability of A. The fourth one, that is probability of A and B. As I've said, and means multiplication. So probability of A into probability of B. This represents only disjoint sets. I'll come to back when I'm solving these problems. I'll take those what are disjoint sets. And the next one is about standard values, which you should know some of the standard values. Some of the standard values are like this: nc0 equal to 1, nc1 equal to n, ncn equal to 1. Here it is not printed, it is 1. np0 equal to 1, x raised to 0 equal to 1, x raised to 1 equal to x. So all these values you should know. How these values are to be used, where it should be used, I'll tell you later. For the time being, after introduction, when you are writing in your fair book, please write this formulas first before solving the problems. Okay, now let's start with problems. I hope you are understanding this. If there is any difficulty, you have to call me. So let us begin with some problems. After you write down the formula in your fair book, please note down these problems and let us solve one by one. In this, some of the problems I am solving here today in the class, whereas some problems I am giving as homework. Write them in serial order only. Don't write all the class whatever I have solved first and then you solve it homework. It should go as per the serial order. Okay, let us begin. So the problem is like this. Now when a coin is tossed up, when a coin is tossed, what is the probability of getting a head? Simple problem. When a coin is tossed up, coin is tossed, what is the probability of getting a head? So what is the experiment here? Experiment is tossing of the coin. What is the event that we are interested in? We are interested in getting a head, right? That is the event. See, experiment is that what you are doing and what you are interested in finding, that is your event. Okay, so event is getting a head. In this case, what is the probability of getting a head, they have asked. So your event is getting a head. Now your sample space, what will be your sample space? Sample space by definition is, it is the set containing all the possible outcomes of an experiment. So in this case, your sample space S is equal to H comma T, where H stands for heads, T stands for tail. So when you toss a coin once, what are the possibilities that you are going to get? Either a head or a tail. Any other possibility? No, there's no other possibility, and hence S, the set S consists of only H comma T. So what is the number of items in the sample space? Number of items in the sample space is equal to 2, right? Okay. Now what is the event? Event E is getting a head, right? So what is the set E consists of? Now set E, that is event, is, I've said in the definition previous class, that it is a subset of the sample space. Now you have to look at the sample space. Where all are you getting a head? Which are all the results that in the sample space which are giving you this event? Event is getting a head, so you have to bring those. That is H, it comes here. T, it is a tail, it will not come here, so only head will come here. I hope you are understanding this. I'll just take you back one step and I'll explain you. See here, in this case, here sample space is H comma T. There's no problem with sample space, I hope. Fine. So number of items in the sample space is 2, right? Why 2? Because H comma T, number of items in the sample space, 1 2. Now what was the event? Event was getting a head. Now you have to look at this sample space. Where all are you getting a head? Only 1, so bring that down. Are you getting a head here? No, you are not getting a head here, it is a tail, so it will not come down. Fine. So E is equals to H. Now what is the number of items in set E? It is equal to 1. What is the definition, mathematical definition of probability? Probability of any event is equals to number of items in that set divided by total number of possible items, that is number of items in the sample space. So it is equal to n upon E upon n upon S 1 upon 2, which is equals to 0.5. Remember, this value what you are getting should be always between 0 and 1. It should be between 0 and 1. Okay, is this between 0 and 1? Yes, it is between 0 and 1, so it is correct. What is the meaning of this 0.5? It means it has 50% chances of getting a head, right? And that is true. We'll move to the next problem. Next problem is a homework problem. You have to solve this after this problem only. So when a coin is tossed, what is the probability of getting a tail? Similarly, it will remain, the answer will remain same, everything will remain same. Only thing is this will change, this event what they have shown you, that will change. Okay, so once you solve this homework problem, then you solve this third problem. Now what is this third problem? When two coins are tossed once simultaneously, find the probability of getting A, 2 heads, B, 1 head. Now two coins are tossed up simultaneously. When two coins are tossed up simultaneously, that means you are tossing up two coins, 1 2, at the same time you are tossing. So what are the possible, what is the experiment you are doing? Two coins are tossed up simultaneously, that is your experiment. You can also write it as tossing of two coins in simple words. what is the event you are interested in? There are two events. First, A is you get two heads. Getting two heads is the first event. Second event you are interested in is finding probability of second event is one head. So for let's consider only the first event, event A. Event A is getting two heads. Now what is sample space? Sample space for this is whenever two heads are shown, that is whenever two heads come, then the sample space is sorry, whenever two coins are tossed up, the sample space is HH, HT, TH and TT. So always remember this. If you cannot write it, you have to by heart this. HH, two both will be heads. The first one will be head, the second one will be tail. It becomes opposite here. First one will be tail, the second one will be head, or else both will be TT. So this is how you will get, and n of s is equal to 4. So once you get that, what is the value of what is the not value, what is set A consists of? Event A is getting two heads. Now just concentrate on this part. So whenever we are finding out what will come in this set, we have to see at the sample space. What is the event that we are interested in getting two heads? Where are the two heads coming in this? One is this. Is there any other place where we are getting two heads? Here, no. So only one item will come. So only one item will come here, and that is h comma h. Okay, so therefore n of A is equals to 1. Once n of A equal to 1, you have got probability of A is equals to n of A upon n of S, which is equals to 1 upon 4 equal to 0.25. Similarly, event B is getting, what is it? Event B, one head, probability of getting one head. So where are the one heads coming? Just see here. Now these are the only events where you are getting one head. Here you are getting two heads, here you are getting 0 heads. So two events are there where you are getting one head. So just copy those two events here. Event B equal to HT comma TH, n of B equal to 2. So probability of B is equals to n of B divided by n of S, which is equals to 2 upon 4 equal to 1 upon 2 equal to 0.5. You can keep it as fractions also, or you can find keep it in decimals also. It is up to you. Okay, with this we'll stop here today. If you have any difficulties, please contact us. So if you have any difficulties, you have to contact me on my personal number during college working hours. One more thing, please complete your books. If you have, then only you will get to know if you have any doubts. So we'll complete today's lecture here.